FH9, here we come, baby. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Everyone's ready to go. I can't wait.
How come I can hear the music tonight?
Going to FH9 and whatever comes our way.
That's the first time you ever got the number right.
What? I got the number right. Dude, we are crashing FH9. Greg Papalo. I'm telling you, Mr. Greg Papalo. Guess what? Look out, because here we come. Frank, Steve, and Ronnie are coming to FH9. Less than a week, boys. Less than a week. Friday.
We're 4 days away.
Oh, and guess what else pisses me off? Okay.
What else?
What else? Because the pre-show was awesome.
What?
I said, what else? I said, like the pre-show wasn't enough. What else?
Enough. I know. Yeah. So yeah. Well, if you guys can only be here, we already had a war. It's already starting. But you pissed me off, Frank. All of a sudden, we're gonna have a hunt on Friday for everybody when I'm not gonna be there.
I'm not organizing the hunt.
Well, they did.
Yeah, right. And I don't. I mean, listen, and we said we're going to go. However, I have to meet my doggy sitter that morning and give her my key. So we'll see if I get there in time.
Yeah, but where did they come up with this all of a sudden? They did it against me.
And it's a nice piece of property. I understand.
They did it all against me. They did it because of me, and I take it personal.
You should. I agree. I didn't want to say anything, but he said I'm trying to do this so Steve can't make it.
So, Ron, how are you tonight, buddy?
Very good. Everybody, just wanted to put this.
Is that it?
There.
Oh, nice.
$5 Liberty Gold piece. We are going to raffle it off at the event. $20 a ticket. All proceeds. Plus, I am donating the coin at my cost. All the proceeds will go to FH9.
Oh, that you're missing the hunt? Really?
What?
He just said he's got to miss the hunt. His wife told him he's going to St. Pete's for the weekend.
No, Odette, you don't listen to your wife. Get your ass to that hunt. Ronnie, this is the third time you've done this, correct?
That is correct.
And that is one of the greatest.
You can avoid all the hassle. I'll double face value for you right now.
Oh, gee, thanks. $10. Hell of a man.
Listen, you know what? That's a very great gesture. I know John Porchella loves you. Oh, so Brandon.
Oh, we did it. We did a recount. John didn't really win that coin. He's got to give it back.
So, what was I gonna say? I want to win that coin this year. How much are the tickets? Are they going to be $20?
Buy tickets to win.
Are they
going to be $20 a ticket?
Yeah, people. We made a lot of money with that last time.
Oh yeah.
So
I can't remember the number. Last year I actually wasn't there, and Shelly and Dawn I think ran the raffle for me.
It was over $3,000, right?
No, I don't know. I don't remember.
And I remember counting the money. Shelly and Dawn helped us with everything. They're awesome. But
or $4,000.
And Frank is donating an ugly box
and a set of Aquatex.
And a set of the Aquatex. Now we are going to have a table set up with the Aquatex on display,
and I'm bringing down pretty much every metal detector I own, so they're going to be Aquatex hooked up to machines for people to listen to.
And ugly boxes.
Yes. If you want an ugly box, order them now, because I don't know how many I'm going to have built, but we will have ugly boxes there.
I got to tell you something. If you do, listen, you might want to reserve. If you know you're going to want a pair of headphones or an ugly box, you better reserve with Frank before this event.
We have been building steady for about 6 weeks now, nonstop. I mean, I tell you nonstop. I mean nonstop. And I get a big pile, and then all of a sudden I get a call from Ronnie, and then my pile gets smaller.
The pile gets smaller.
So I keep building.
So just love it. I mean, I just love it. We have a great time, and I'm ready. I'll
have some Aquatex from every brand.
detector.
Yeah, nice little pile of Mind Labs, nice little pile of Notka, and a couple of the other ones each.
So we're good to go, man. We're great to go.
Can't wait to get down there, man. I
I
need a
know.
break.
I can't wait to get to Florida and all this warm. Oh wait, never mind.
Ah.
I'm here. I can't wait to get to that side of Florida.
So now this idea had come to me. I do have to preface this show. I got to give my little hate speech. You know, with FH9 coming in, and people have asked me, how come we don't advertise all the hunts that go on, you know, and with spring coming, you could probably go to a paid event every day of the year in the summer. So I kind of thought I wanted to have a show about events, metal detecting events, we'll say, whether they're digs, whether they're paid events, whether it's a seated hunt, a natural hunt. I kind of wanted to throw the discussion out there, but this discussion cannot be a hate discussion. We want to throw around with Frank and Ronnie, you know, what type of events there are, what may be your type of event to go to, the pluses, the minuses, the good things, the bad things. But we definitely cannot. There's no need to start bashing people. You know, I got enough bashing on Frank to do during the show, especially after last night when we went on Josh's show. If you don't listen to Josh Kimmel, man, you miss a lot of stuff because we got on there last night and just ripped it up.
I sent Josh the paperwork to file a restraining order against you from calling in.
It ain't gonna work. No piece of paper is gonna hold me back. Dude, you so hide from me Sunday night too. You hide from me because you don't want me to find out about his show. And I call. Are you passing gas
again?
What are you doing?
Something is making a weird, like, computer noise in my living room, and I have no idea what it is. What could that possibly be?
It's not any of Celeste's electronics, is it?
Celeste is sitting there with her electronics in her hand. Oh,
really?
No, they don't make that kind of noise.
Oh my God! What's going on over there? And next, we'll see ping pong balls shooting across the room.
That is the. That's the Verizon thing. Is there a? Where's your son's phone?
Oh, and I just saw.
That's your son's phone.
I just saw Mark Anthony, Spanish Main Antique. Mark, we gotta have some fun. I can't wait. We're coming to St. Augustine, buddy. We're hanging out with you. We're crashing that store. So, and hopefully we'll be there doing a show next Monday. We really want to try and set up a show from Spanish Main Antiques.
Like we have to bring in cameras and lights. I got to open my laptop. We got to show.
I figure we just use our phone. We could do a show anywhere. You know what I mean? So, okay, Ronnie, you've been in the business a while. Frank, you've been detecting for a couple weeks now.
Yeah, at least two.
You might find something. I've been at this now a pretty good amount of time, and it's really fun. And for people that come into the hobby that are new, there's a lot of things they want to get involved with. They want to meet other detectorists. They want to join clubs. They want to go to the events. And a lot of times the events have, I'll say, the stars. Of course, KG and Ringy are the greatest guys in the world. They go to the.
You said stars, and you don't even put my name in there. What the hell?
Yeah, exactly. There's a reason.
KG and Ringy.
There's a reason why
they don't have an Aquatech shirt.
And a lot of great people go to certain events throughout the country, and you watch them on TV and you want to meet them, and it's a great thing. So, what's your opinion, Ron, on the paid events?
Paid events. Here's my thoughts. All right, a paid event that is put on by a club to help support their club most cases, I want to say, they're nonprofit organizations, and what they do is they 100% of the attendance money goes into the prizes and the coins that are being seeded in the beach. Those hunts are very beneficial. Here's my problem with certain paid hunts. If you're not a nonprofit organization and you're doing it for money, then the monies that are collected really aren't accounted for. They're going to pay people. All right, they're for profit. Okay, so there's really no way to know how much of that money they're taking in that they're actually putting out in prizes.
And the fact is, if they're doing it as a business, then you kind of don't even have the right to know.
You know exactly. I mean? Exactly.
So you've already. I'm sorry, cut you off. You've already broken it down, kind of like into like two categories here. A lot of metal detecting clubs will do hunts. Sometimes it's for members only. Sometimes it's an open event, open hunts, and those, as Ronnie's saying, are one type. And then we have other types that are put on by, what would we say, private
entities.
Yeah, private people that get a lot of property in a location, advertise, and try and draw in a lot of people, whether they're diggers, whether they're sponsors. And Ronnie, you get asked to sponsor a lot of times. I bet your phone's got to ring a lot more than we know.
Well, we do. We get, if it's not a phone call, it's an email. One of the things I do not do is sponsor non-profit organizations. And that's your local clubs. Okay. Local clubs are usually nonprofit. When you start getting into sponsoring an event that's for profit by somebody, then there's no accountability for the money. And that's all fine if you want to do that. I'm not against saying, hey, don't do it. I'm just saying they're totally different entities. You really one somebody's running the event and putting the money in their pocket, and the other event is for the industry to support the clubs and the local areas.
Now,
so
the trick,
I'm just want to make that clear.
But the trick to this, I just want to interject real quick, is that doesn't always mean it's going to be a bad hunt either.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's the trick, right?
It's absolutely. But you know what I'm saying? When you start taking money out of the prize package, it don't matter if you have 10,000 people there. Okay. The more people you have there, the less prizes are going to go to the actual attendees. So, you got to take it with a grain of salt.
But I'm going to be devil's advocate. Well, not really. I'm going to bash on other people too. These club hunts, okay, if you got a club, okay, it's you're whether you're a nonprofit or you're it's just a club. If you don't have a nonprofit number, okay, it takes a lot to run a club. It takes a lot to keep a club together. Okay, you have to be doing stuff all year long to generate whatever. Whether like the local club in South Jersey, they have the little auctions, they have this and that. If you don't do that, because this is what pisses me off about some of the local clubs, the small clubs, you don't do anything all year long, and then you try to have a club event and you're charging $200, $250 to go. Like that drives me insane, because you've made it impossible for half the people to afford to go do a hunt, because you want to make all your money in one shot too. People lost sight of the fact of what it takes to run a club.
Well, that's why
there has to be other things besides your one hunt a year that you're making people broke on to go enjoy the club hunt.
That's one thing I think that clubs, they have what I was going to say. The private hunts for members only, then an open hunt, and I think that the members only hunts are a better type thing, in my opinion, because I like in our club, I like to promote camaraderie, friendship, and when you have an open hunt, there's two types of people that go to these hunts. There's people that want to go there and have fun, but then there's people that want to go there and find everything and win everything.
Yeah, and that's the problem. It's great to win the prizes. It's great to get lots of silver in the ground. I get it, but honestly, if you're paying for a hunt because your sole purpose is to go grab as much silver out of the ground as you can, I don't have a problem if they want to charge you $300 for the weekend, $400 for the weekend. I don't care, because
right.
that's different. But
yeah, there are some that are
geared your club. Your club should be supporting you all year long, so that it doesn't cost you $500,000 to go to a weekend hunt once a year.
Right, and there are some that are that competitive. They want to charge $300, and their prizes are on a total different scale.
Yeah,
and it is a more competitive type thing.
That's almost like going to the casino. You know you're dropping bucks out of your pocket, and you have the chance of winning some heavy duty stuff. That's all fine and good, but your club hunt, a club hunt shouldn't be the payment for. Yeah, I agree. You have to charge for a club hunt, but it shouldn't be on the scale of some of these paid events that are. It's just ridiculous. Some of these clubs are pricing themselves out of business, and then they cry, "Our members aren't even coming." Because you're finding a half a pound of silver dimes, and you charge them $500 for the weekend.
And I want to tell you, our club hunt was a couple weeks ago, and I was a little worried, but you know what? The officers in that club, they hit it out of the park. It was for members only. It was kind of a nice, intimate situation. It was fun. Everyone had fun. I think everybody went home with something in their pocket, which was the goal was met. And I really didn't hear anybody say, well, there wasn't enough put out. I didn't hear any naysayers. But at our event, I looked around and I saw people talking and getting along and having a good time. So I really think that that there was a big argument over the price. When we started to plan the hunt at the meeting, there was a big argument over the hunt. And they're like, some people were like, well, this is too much. And some people were like, well, this isn't enough, blah, 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 blah. They came to a happy medium.
Exactly.
And did a great job. So it can be done. It
can be done. But by the same token, your clubs aren't going to be giving away Rolls Royces at the event, and nor should they be, because you are trying to generate some funds for your club.
Oh, we made a lot of money too on the
raffles.
On the raffles.
Exactly.
I donated a couple prizes that made some good money. We made a lot of money. So, and then the money brought in by the entries went into the ground. But I don't know exactly how much we made, and I'll hear about it. But we did pretty well. We were pretty happy with it,
And here's another little tidbit. If you put on a good hunt, okay, if you put on a hunt that people enjoy going to, then you don't necessarily have to charge $1 million because people want to come to your event. And when you put on a good hunt that people enjoy and people talk about, guess what else happens? Your vendors want to go there too.
Right.
Okay. And case in point, I've been doing hunts almost as long as I've been metal detecting. And there's never been a hunt that I go to every single year. But me, Steve, Ronnie, we have such a good time at FH9.
Oh, 8.
And the fact of the matter is, the last 2 years at FH9, I got a total of an hour detecting because we have such a good time. It's such a good group of people. It's for a good cause, and they're not raping you. In comparison to some of these other digs, you're not getting raped on the price either. It's just a very well run hunt.
The money it goes to a good cause. Okay, that's one thing. And believe me, this whole discussion is not aimed at saying the great things about FH9 that really
Right,
are.
exactly.
Like it brought to mind that we should. It's a lot of things we should discuss. I want to ask you a question, Frank. Okay, so you're going to go. You say, I'm going to go to a paid event. So this weekend, I could either go here, which is a seated hunt, or here, which is a natural hunt. Which do you prefer?
Here's the thing you got to understand. I don't get me wrong. I enjoy natural hunts. I love going out and detecting and finding something old in the ground that you worked for. But I'm a guy who likes seated hunts. I enjoy a seated hunt.
I thought you were going to say the opposite.
Old school where our seated hunts that we used to do years ago were there were gimmicks to them. There were you used to get done when we used to do hunts for like the shadow team. Let me tell you what, dude, I got a better workout doing those hunts than I did, at the gym, because you'd have relays where you'd have 100 targets in the line, and you got to go out and dig until you find the one target. And if it's not the one target, you got to bury it again, and then you got to come back, and the next guy got to go find it. Dude, it was a workout, but it was a ball. I enjoyed the seated hunts, and if you're having a paid event where people are coming, I think you should have contest hunts. I think you should have token hunts for prizes. And it's great that there's also at FH9 and a lot of the other places I've gone, they also have an area for natural hunts.
Oh, well, I like the mixture, but that's what I'm just saying is I wanted to know which one you preferred.
If I'm going to a hunt, if I'm going to a paid hunt, I want that combination. I want the contest hunt.
Combination, but I'm saying if you didn't have if there was no combination, which you would prefer, and you're leaning towards seated. I thought you would have said natural.
I am. Yeah. Well, natural, you're kind of at the mercy of the land that someone else picked for you, which is all fine and good.
Tell you something, and again, and we're gonna talk about this coming up in the future. I'm going, Ronnie. You know who called me the other day. I was honestly impressed that this person wanted to talk to me in the first place.
That's got me.
Ronnie?
Yes. Actually, we're going to have him on the show. Now, for all you folks here in New Jersey or in the local vicinities, it's going to be a fundraiser for a historical society in our area.
I might come
large amount. But we'll have to come on the show and talk about it.
I might come up with that hunt.
Listen, this is what happened was Ronnie was at an event, and we've had this person on the show, and he wanted to talk to me. And I'm like, this guy's in the middle of running an event, wants to talk to me, and wanted to tell me that. And we went to one of these other events, and it was not seated. But you guys were finding everything, man. We had such a great time.
And that's the thing. It's a natural hunt, but I'm also privy to the fact that I know that this guy lines up some really good properties. So these are properties away from the hunts that I would want to go dig.
So we had gone and we had a great time, and we're gonna. Now, do you hear him, Ron? He goes, "I might come back. I might come up for that one."
Yeah, now this is going to definitely be a good one because the last one he did, one of the guys actually found a 1793 dime. It was like $2,500 dime.
Right,
so,
right.
And somebody out there found a real and a Jersey copper. Who was that? That was me. I'm sorry.
He sold that dime too for the money.
Yeah, I think he got 25.
I like for it. All right, I like how we were on this little bit of land on the side of someone's house with a little bit of a slope, and someone says, "Yo, come here. We're finding large cents over here." I'm like, "Okay." Ronnie finds a large cent or two. You might have found a couple. The other guy, the guy that called me over, he found a couple. Guess what I found?
Pull tab.
Around that hill was a pretty hot spot.
It was. So there's an example of, and listen, you have to kind of know in advance you could go to a natural hunt and the finds could be very, very scarce, we'll say.
Sure.
But a little research into where you're going, sometimes they don't always tell you, but listen, this club's got a great name. We went to one and had a good time, so we will go back.
And that's the thing to remember, though, too. If you're going to a natural hunt, paid or not paid, whatever, if you're going to a natural hunt, you don't have that everybody getting together and having a good time. Not that it's not a good time, but everybody goes to their own spot. Everybody goes to their own place. These seated hunts, the good seated hunts, they're as much of a social event as they are a hunt. And we laugh and have a good time the entire time we're there. It's worth it for us to go. And on top of everything else, you get to win a few prizes. Are you getting a Cadillac? No, but it's fun, and you still walk away with some stuff.
Now that entry money, number one, we knew was going to a cause. Yeah. And I don't think the price was the highest. I don't think it was the lowest. But there are hunts out there that they really charge a lot of money to go out on some private property. And I always like to, I take that more, and like you said, a club hunt, I'm going to go. Okay, my club, I want to go to that. Right. Maybe someone else's club is going to invite me. I want to go. Now you step up into the other ones where it's a lot of money to go to a non-seated, going to go hunt Civil War property. Well, first off, I'm not a big relic hunter. So it don't really, but you have to start, the higher the price, you have to start to think and maybe take your time and just not jump into it.
See, like events like, and I'm going to name an event because it's notorious, but events like DIV, I get the fee. I get the reason for it because they're in such a ridiculously hot area for Civil War artifacts. I know almost no one that doesn't come out with something. Knowing that this research has been done, and this I would pay to go to that hunt because it's in such a great area. But there's unknown people. Some people, I got a piece of ground. There's no investigation of it, and then they want big money to come to hunt a piece of ground that you don't know if you're going to get anything. And not that I need monetary value, but I want to hit targets. And if it's just a dud piece of ground and you've paid money for it, now you got that bad taste in your mouth that, well, why was the fee so high?
You may not go there with the greatest expectations, but something could go on and kind of make you walk away with like,
if you're going to do a natural hunt, it should be researched so that at least I know that there is the potential for good stuff to be found.
And well, like I'm saying,
I just want to say about this one that we're talking about coming up in this next October.
Right.
There's land that the Historical Society is providing that is not hunted by the general public in order to raise money for their cause.
And because the area is a great area, exactly. I don't feel as bad paying money for a hunt like that, not knowing whether I'm going to come out with anything or not, but I know what the area can produce is potential.
But also, it's also because we went to one of their events that were really nice and panned out real well to say, hey, we want to go again, and like you said, if we had thought, and because the three of us went, so you know what, we talk about it, and if we weren't happy, we may not go to this next.
Exactly. I can't tell you how many events over the years that I thought were going to be great, and they were poorly run. It was just, and I just never went back.
Okay, and you know what? We've walked out of a couple together, and it's usually a unanimous vote. Also,
yeah, for sure.
We've never been undecided.
Listen, we've gone to hunts that were good. We had fun at, and didn't walk out of there with a lot, if anything, in our pockets. There's a difference between a well-run, fun event and an event that you're going to fill your pockets with treasure.
We've also gone to hunts. We've also gone to hunts where we walked away going,
yeah, absolutely.
We try not to down anybody, and we try to look on the good side of things. But like I'm saying is, for people that are new in this hobby, and they're excited about I love metal detecting. Oh wow, look at this. Oh, a hunt in Nowheresville for some money. Should I go?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, we kind of have a little bit of a policy here with Detect America, and we're not going to promote any just any random hunt.
Yeah. And
You know, a lot of
believe me, guys, more hunts get taken down off this page before anybody sees them than you can imagine.
a lot of people even ask for permissions to
Yeah.
post. It's not that we don't, if we don't know anything about it, we're not going to allow it.
If we can't vet it or it's not been vetted before,
And that's with anything we're going to advertise. That's with anything we're going to advertise. Now, that's not to say that a well-respected member of Detect America will contact us and say, you know, I went there, it was pretty good. You know, we take the word of our most respected members.
The bottom line is we don't want anything on this page charging our members money that we don't know whether it's good, bad, or other.
Right. And listen, that's why if there is an event, and like you said, we'll have the people on the show to talk about the event.
Yeah.
Sure. And we'll promote it in the best, how do I put it, with the best intentions for our members. Everything we do here is with the best intentions of our members, whether it's equipment, advice, anything we like to do. So we're not just going to post, oh, well, in the month of July, there's a hunt here. We don't know these folks.
No,
we're not gonna just randomly take or give advertisement space to something that could hurt our members.
No.
And no matter what it
is. And again, if we vet it and they come through us, I don't care whose event it is. If it's been a vetted event, it's a good event.
Mm-hmm.
We have an opportunity to vet the people putting it on. Because listen, guys, there's a lot of ripoffs out there. They're truly.
And I'll tell you one thing is we get a lot of feedback after the hunts. So yeah. I would. You gotta understand something. It's tough for me to get places when we go somewhere. We pay our own bills.
Yeah.
Okay. It's, Frank don't pay me shit. The gold digger card ran dry on me. I almost got charged criminally.
I pay you exactly what you earned.
I had to pay Ronnie back the $3 I spent on his credit card. So we do like to pick and choose where we go, but there are a couple that recently that I wouldn't mind going to. And just by seeing after the fact that everybody had a good time, I'm like, damn, I wish I could be there, But
and there's been a couple of big hunts over the past couple of years that have turned out to be really good hunts. But when they approached us, I had never heard of them. Exactly. I had guys saying, "Oh, it's going to be a great hunt," but these are guys that had never been there before.
Yeah,
so I'm not going to let a hunt come on here and say, "Listen, and they're not cheap hunts." Now, knowing what I know now about these hunts, yeah, of course I would be open to it because I know that people have gone there 2-3 times. They're not getting ripped off. It's a different story now, but not when it first comes out because we've had guys that like, oh yeah. It's all going for charity. Oh, hey, look at my new car I just bought after I was living in a tent.
So let me ask you another question, okay? All right. So all of a sudden, internet pops up, big hunt in anywhere, Georgia, okay? And you start to see a list of people who's going to be there,
right?
Okay. Again, we got new members or new people coming into the hobby. Would love to meet. I know I say their name a lot, but would love to meet the likes of KG and Ringy,
sure.
Gypsy Jewel,
D.A. Frank. I get it.
Gary Drayton. Who
else? Yeah, Gary. Okay.
And even if you go to these events, and I'll tell you what, you go and Mark Hoover and Gary Penta are there, and they're okay. So now you see an event that's going to have these guys there.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on that, Frank?
Well, here's the thing, and we're lucky enough to be in a position from doing this show for 10 years that we know a lot of these people, and those guys like that are my gauge. If I see KG and Ringy saying yes, if I see Gary Penta and Mark Hoover saying yes, okay, that makes it a little easier for me to believe this is going to be a good event and not a rip-off event, because I know these people. And, and if they're willing to go to an event like this, then it's at least worth me looking into.
And I want to throw this in there too, because we wound up learning that they don't just sporadically go. The companies that sponsor them kind of do some research into the events to decide whether they're going to send them there or not. So don't just think that these guys just show up. You know, like I said, more than likely, if they're going to be there, it's reputable. You know, and like I said, I guess it was FH Florida Hunt. We met KG and Ringy the first time. That was one of the reasons why.
Second time
I went. I wanted to meet those guys. Well, when we met them, that was where I did meet them.
Right.
And yeah, that's right. Because that was the thing. FH, whatever, 1-2, whatever. Well, I'm sure they started to find out that these events that FH, the Florida Hunts, were doing so well.
Yeah.
And then Garrett said, "Okay, we're going to send them."
And not to blow smoke up our own rear ends like I like to do, but. The fact is that we do this show. We do a lot of metal detecting. We've been to a lot of events over the years. You know what? Other people can use that as a gauge too, because I'm not returning to an event that I don't like or I'm suspect of. Just again, not just to blow up FH9, but there's a reason why we're going there 4 and 5 years in a row, and it's not because we like Florida water.
I like to eat with
go to these events because we've been there and they're well run, and it's a fun time, and it's exactly what I want an event to be.
And there are other hunts that are bragged about, just like FH9. That I would say that when you hear the same thing, that we talk about FH9 going with this hunt here, this hunt here, this hunt here.
And listen, we've been to hunts that we enjoyed for 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
that went south, and we no longer talk about those events. We don't even consider those events anymore because it changed over the years, and we don't go to them anymore. So it's real time, guys. It's real time. If we like,
this is why I'm saying, if you don't see us promote that hunt, like I said, we may not know about it, but if you've seen it, okay. So, 2018 we promoted this hunt. 2019 we promoted. Well, all of a sudden 2020 that hunt comes along, and we're not promoting it. It's usually a pretty good reason.
Listen, the hunt in Illinois I went to this past year, I had never, to be quite honest with you, I had never even heard of it. But Chuck Smalley's involved in it.
Exactly.
And that was my reason for driving 900 miles. And you know what? I'll go back to that hunt because it was a very well-run hunt. We had a
like I said, because Chuck Smalley's a well-respected member of this page. But they're, like Frank is saying, though, and again, yes, we may have promoted a hunt in the past, but if we stop promoting it, it's usually for a very
we're not going to tell you that they're crooks, they're thieves. We're not going to bash them.
No.
It's not. And guys that are having hunts, especially guys that know us, send us the info. There's nothing. We're not only promoting the biggest events with all the sponsors. I don't care if you're putting together, even if it's a club putting together a club hunt and you want to make it an open hunt, send us the info. I mean, we're here to promote these hunts, and I've been to hunts that nobody's ever heard of, and they were a great time. But we just have to have the opportunity to vet it and make sure they're not taking your $100, and then you get there and there's nobody there.
And you're better off asking people about things in private messages.
Yeah.
Like I said about tonight's show, where I didn't want any bashing, it's not proper etiquette to go on a page and say, I'm thinking about going to Frank's hunt in Dunedin, Florida. What do you think? And you open the floodgates for bashing and fighting
Exactly.
It's
People,
really not
people are going to be more honest if they're
the
not
way
part of
to
the mob mentality and they're talking to you privately.
right. You can always ask us. A lot of people have asked me about hunts, and I may not know. But if you ask enough people, somebody may know and give you good insight on deer
Absolutely,
hit. But
absolutely. Now
but
I have an important message. Um, Barbara Connell mailed my cookies, and she told me that I don't have to give any to Dwight. I think that's what she said. I might have misread it.
Hey, don't worry. Dwight is on a fitness kick. He's not going to be eating
That's
cookies.
right, Barb. I'm doing Dwight a favor by eating all those cookies. I don't want him to those extra calories.
I love cookies. I love my cookies.
Right. Now,
So again,
I think she told me I can give you and Ronnie one.
Okay.
And me?
so again,
Celeste can get one too.
if you're new to our page, again, we are here for the people who are thinking about getting into metal detecting. The newbies in them, you just get a metal detector. We're here. We keep this as a family-oriented page where someone who knows very little about metal detecting can come and be inquisitive, ask questions, and not get bashed. Especially when they ask the questions like, "Well, what I want to get
Unless you're Steve, then you get bashed.
I want to get a great machine. I got 200 to spend. I want to get the best one." That a seasoned metal detectors would say that's a really tough question to answer.
Exactly. And when people ask about metal detectors, that's the number one question I ask. What are you comfortable spending?
Right.
Because
But
they
the
don't
thing
always
is,
get the answer they expect from me.
But see, I never forget where I came from. And you want to know something? The minute I got into this hobby, the first thing I said was, I'm going to get a metal detector that only finds gold.
Of course.
So when people like that come to you as a metal detectorist, don't laugh, because you know what? You were there at one time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doing that. And they're not doing anything I never did,
Especially when you're just starting out and you finally understand what discrimination is. You instantly believe I could discriminate everything but gold.
And I will say this, I'm very impressed with myself. I met a gentleman who was using the CTX, and he said, "I'm just having problems with
I didn't
this."
mean to laugh, Steve. You just said you were very impressed with yourself, and I just found that as funny.
Not as impressed as you are with yourself, Frank. Maybe a little close, but he was having problems with the CTX. I said, "You know what?" I said, "You're using the stock programs." He goes, "Yeah." I said, "You know what? Call me. We'll work on it." He came over the other day. I sat down with him, downloaded the programs that Frank made for me and someone else, that I trusted, programs that I had been using on the CTX.
Been using for years, yeah.
Right. And I put him in his machine. We went outside. I explained a lot of things to him. Now, I always tell people, you got to learn your machine. You got to learn your machine. You got to sit down and read the manual and with the machine in front of you and go through step by step as you read. That's true with about every machine in the world, probably except the CTX, and maybe the V3i. They're so intense machines, you still drive yourself crazy sitting there with the manual. And that was my luck. My luck was
if you're a first time CTX owner and you're not reaching out to someone who's been using it, it's
this gentleman didn't have those resources.
Right.
I luckily had the resources of 5 and 6 people that would take me detecting with my CTX, and each one of them got there and did a little different things. I got the programs. This gentleman didn't have that, but I was actually impressed that I was able to assist this gentleman, and I think he learned a little bit from me, and we're going to see. I'm going to follow up with him.
Well, like any machine, as daunting as the CTX 3030 is, and the Manticore coming into it the same way. Listen, if you're a first time user of the Legend and you want to program it, these are daunting tasks. But once you get that time under your belt,
that's the thing.
That stuff will become second nature to you.
Yeah. I think people nowadays are very impatient. They want to get even though they want to go out and get the Legend, which is they want to buy these new machines, the Legend, give me some machines, the Simplex,
Equinox.
the Noxes. But they want the machine to work for them.
Well,
And
I think we've
not
reached
that
a
way.
point in time, though, where your dreams are going to come true. Because I think we've reached a point in time where the machines have gotten so freaking complicated that now I think that everybody keeps going, where do you think metal detecting is going to go? I think now all this convoluted stuff that we have to do to program these detectors on the fly, I think now you're going to start seeing it simplified. I think that all this stuff can be done with one button. I think that's where it's going to go.
But even some of the simpler machines that we know how to use, the Nox took me a while to learn. But any machine, you still have to learn, and you still have to tweak it to your likings. That's why I think you should read the manual and tweak the machine to your liking. Listen, I learned the Deus 2. I don't know why. I'm surprised. Everybody told me it was a tough machine. And unless I did something wrong, I really.
But you developed patience over the years from the CTX.
You're probably right. But what really, really helped me was the YouTube video. I read the manual. I tweaked the machine the way I liked it. But the YouTube videos of this guy named Gary from Deus, I don't know who he is. He's got the English accent. He did some really
English accent. Oh, you can't believe him.
He did.
I'm kidding. Sorry.
He did really, really good YouTube videos where I learned a lot. I've just gotten the Legend, and I watched the YouTube by Jason Bazzufi. That thing went from A to Z on the Legend.
You know what? As someone who tested the Legend in the U.S., I thought I know it. Thank God for Jason's video, dude, because he simplified it down to every icon on that screen and made it easy to understand.
And you need that. You need that before, and then you need to go out and swing the machine and start to learn it. Start to pay attention to your signals, your numbers, whatever the machine's doing. Whether you get two tones out of it, that's one of the only ways to get a second nature of using your machine.
Absolutely.
It's not going to, but then you can set it up to be a turn and go machine for the most part.
Especially now that they have what's called local memory. You set a program up that you like, and now most of these machines have 8 or 9 presets. You design a program you like, you go back to it, but you have to get over that hump first. You have to. There's no shortcut anymore. Listen, I was the biggest guy in the world. I'd get the machine and get the instruction sheet would go like this. Woo! I knew enough about machines. I didn't need it. And then I met the CTX 3030. Let me tell you why. If you don't read these new machines that are coming out now with all the bells and whistles, and they got them, read the instruction manual 5 times.
Right. And even though you knew what you wanted to go in and tweak, or say, or whatever part of you had to figure out how to get into there and do it.
Exactly.
Nowadays, there's also shortcuts.
I had to do it with the Legend. I had to do it with the CTX. I had to do it with the Manicore. I had to do it with the Nox. Right. You have to learn. You know what? Exactly right. You know what you want to accomplish, but now you have to learn how to get there with it. And once you do, it's a whole different animal.
Now, and then what are you saying? The memory programs, the profiles, you can set. Like, I'm sure back in the day you couldn't do that. Now with computer chips, you can set 12 different profiles. Yeah. So you can set a couple dirt programs, a couple beach programs.
But the difference back in the day was that with one finger, I could adjust whatever adjustments they had, because there wasn't that many.
Wasn't that many.
You can adjust it on the fly a lot easier than you can do that today.
But, the one key to a lot of machines is when you're in the field and you're getting EMI interference of some sort, that's that little extra step that you now have to know how to noise cancel or whatever. Certain machines have different names now. It's noise cancel on one, it's shut up Frank on the other, and
well, and that's one of the things that drives me nuts about the newer machines, because Fisher had a machine out that had a one button EMI button. you hit it and it would knock it down. And then that kind of went away. And now you're kind of getting back into that with the Legend and with the Manticore, that it's again becoming easier to knock out the EMI.
But the thing is,
you have to be able to identify what the problem is.
With different machines, there's different
Everyone.
names for it. You know, one has ground grab, the other has ground balance. It's all the same thing.
Yeah, iron filtering, F1, F2,
right.
Iron bias, iron masking.
Right. So now you got to know the different terms for different machines. Then you have to know how to go into that machine to adjust it. And that's what helps people when they're out in the field.
Yep.
And that's what saves you from hearing noises. And you know, you're able to go out in your machine in the field and adjust it to, you know. So how intense was the Manticore user manual?
Well, first of all, let me give one little itty bitty tidbit of advice. So when you get your Manticore and you get the manual, throw it to the side and go online so you can blow the freaking thing up and read it, because the print is so small. Oh my God, it's so tiny. But the Manticore manual is better than a lot of the manuals that came before it, especially for Minelab, because it really does break it down into the settings and what they can do, as opposed to just telling people, "Oh, this is your Ferris setting." Okay, well, if I'm new to metal detecting, what the hell is a Ferris adjustment? Their manual breaks it down. You just simply can't. Yeah. You need an electron microscope to read the manual book that comes with it.
And that sets you up for your next machine too,
sure.
Because now you're learning about ferrous, non-ferrous. Right. You're learning things that when you go into the next book and they go, all right, well, here's your ground grab and how to get rid of ferrous or whatever they're talking about. I know I don't make sense, but you've now recollected what you've read in this book. Oh, ferrous. I read about that when I was doing this machine, right. And transferring to a new machine is probably easy.
Yeah, like ferrous adjustments. Ferrous adjustments are really kind of new-ish from the Knox up forward, because there used to be iron masking, and that was similar, but kind of did a different thing as well. And now with the Knox, you like what you found with the F1 and the F2 settings. So now every machine that I'm going forward, that's one of the things I'm looking for. Okay, how do I get into my ferrous adjustments now? You're going to have to learn that. That's why now you can't get away anymore without reading the directions anymore. You just can't.
But that's the first step. Too many people want to skip that step.
Yeah.
Too many people want to skip the manual and go, "Hey Frank, how do I do this?" Well,
I get that. Yeah.
If you don't read the manual and you don't try manipulating the machine, well, when Frank explains to you something, it's like Chinese anyway.
Yeah, if you don't know what ferrous adjustments are, and I tell you work with your ferrous adjustments, it's not going to help you.
That's why when a lot of people ask me for help on the Equinox, I kind of picked it up, and eventually it wasn't easy for me to learn that machine. But the first thing I said was read the manual with the machine, and then get back to me with any questions.
Right.
Because most of the manual explains it in detail better than you listening to me try and explain.
And then if you come across something in the manual that you don't understand, at least you know what you're asking someone.
Right. At least you know when you ask the question. At least you have a little bit of.
Listen, and not to pat myself on the back, because I never like to do that.
Not at all.
But I got such a response from that little goofy little battery video I did, the 50% more power video. You can't believe how many people just said, I get it. I understand that. Because, listen, when it first came out, I didn't understand it. I was confused. It took Andy Savage to smack my ass and tell me, I was wrong about that.
We all bashed you behind the scenes because that was the biggest crock of shit I ever see you try to sell. No, I'm not. I'm kidding.
I'm very proud of that video.
I'm kidding you. No, seriously, it was. At first, I'm like, what the hell is he doing? And then, as you went on, it was explained, and I mean that was helpful.
And that's the thing. Find what you don't like. If I find what you don't understand in the manual, then good. Now you have a point that you can go to, and you can try and clear it up.
Learn your machine.
Yeah, It's never been more true. It's always been true, but it has never been more true than it is now, because we have reached a point. We are at a point where these machines are the most, and I'm not bashing any particular machine because they're all this way, the most complicated of any machine out there. If you want to go in and tweak, if you want to go in and dial in a machine to your surroundings, I've never seen machines more complicated than they are right now.
Yeah. And you don't have to use them in a complicated mode, but to
No.
go in there and set it up.
But if you don't learn how to tweak your machine, you're at the mercy of the presets. And I'm going to tell you what, as a rule, no names here, but as a rule, the presets are I don't know who makes these presets up, but they are not usable. They're
why?
not usable.
Why is that? Why is that? They come up with a machine like this.
It's different.
Awesome.
When you're a scientist and you know what every knob and circuit does on that machine, it's easy to go on a computer and figure out what it should do. And what anybody who's been metal detecting a couple of years knows, it's never that way in the field. It's never that way in the field. They need to start putting presets in from guys who are using them in the field.
It's a shame for the buyers on some of these things where the presets suck so bad, because if you're a guy like the gentleman I met the other day, he barely has a cell phone, so he doesn't know how to go online. He doesn't know how to watch YouTube. So now he's got a CTX in his hand and has no avenue for assistance.
Well, listen, and the CTX is the perfect example. Whether or not it is the machine going forward, or it's the Manticore going forward, or it's the Legend going forward, that machine it was a phenomenal machine. Singly, the worst presets I've ever seen on any machine.
Okay,
there's only been one machine that I used the presets and never changed them, and that was the Weitz MXT.
Listen, if that CTX was such a great machine, why did so many people buy it and sell it?
Because they couldn't get used to it.
They couldn't. They had no avenue to have the assistance to learn it.
That's it.
And that was the first thing. What programs were you using? Well, just the stock ones. Okay. Did you read the manual? Well, it was too confusing, and they were doomed from the start.
Yeah.
And they said, you know what? The hell with this. I'm going back to the AT Pro.
And it is an advanced user machine, but at the time I was an advanced user and I didn't know what the hell was going on with
exactly.
that thing.
That's true too. It did. It twisted the minds of the advanced users. But I got to tell you something, man. Greatest machine. Hey, buddy.
Wow, that freaking scared me. I didn't see it coming.
What you gotta realize is too, these engineers that actually design these machines, they're not metal detectors.
Exactly.
They're not looking at these machines and saying, okay, let's make this easy or that easy. They're saying, let's make this machine so it can perform. And how are we going to do it? Unfortunately, with performance comes a lot of knowledge. Okay, you've got to know what the machine can do. So, it's not knocking these guys, because if it wasn't for these engineers, we wouldn't have the equipment we have today. But they kind of look at things differently.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is even the companies that are testing their machines prior to release, for some reason, they all determined that it's best for us here in America if they test them in England, because we're so almost identical here in the United States. You know what, guys? It's just, I agree. And I'm not taking anything from the engineers, because I sure as hell couldn't put one of these things together. But you need to. There has to be some kind of comprehension that what you see on paper, what your computer tells you the machine can and will do, is going to be different on the ground. And drives me nuts, because I turned on that CTX. First thing I did, man, I'm going to use their beach mode. Well, I don't know what the hell tones that beach mode was doing but that was the first thing I had to eliminate. And now I get, in the last couple of CTXs I've owned, the first thing I did was wipe out their programs and put the ones in that I've learned over 10 years of use. I've learned, what works for me here, or what works for me in New Jersey.
Well, you're not in Jersey anymore, sucker.
You got to relearn everything all over.
All right, so Ronnie,
I know.
Yes, sir.
here's the big question.
Okay.
How's business?
Business is good, man. I'm telling you. I mean, there's just so many new machines out there. People are scampering to get them. You know, we can't
I
we can't
saw
complain.
I saw a nice compliment about you by James Lister.
Okay. Yep.
He purchased the Xterra Plus
Pro.
Pro. Yeah.
Okay, he was very happy, and I know you went through high and hell water to get that to him.
Well, he called me up, and fortunately, it wasn't too late to go out in that day's UPS, and he's 1 day shipping away. So we got it out that day. Boom! It was on his door the next day.
Right, and I thank you. Ronnie was nice enough to come to our South Jersey Metal Detecting Club event, and he showed up and hung out. Didn't even, I mean, he didn't come. He didn't come for any sales to make sales. He came to rub elbows, which was one of the nicest things. I hope you had a great time. Right, that was nice of you.
Absolutely. You know, it's from my point of view, looking at it on a business point, it's more about me coming and mingling with everybody to let them know, hey, I'm here for you guys. If you have any questions, I can help you. You know, it's not about me going out on the field and scooping up as much of the prizes. You know, it's just I look at it differently than the average participant. You know.
Then you also were rubbing elbows at the ECRDA.
Yep. Yep.
ECRDA hunt.
Yep.
And you were there both days.
Correct.
And
unfortunately, we had crummy weather. However, it was a great event. Joe Jorgensen puts on, I got to say, one of the best events that any
Right.
club puts on. He's really into it wholeheartedly. I mean, we had people. There was a gentleman there from California. He lives in California, but he has a house in South Carolina. So every year he comes back. He usually plans so that he's at his house in South Carolina so he can attend this event. We had people there from Florida. We had a couple people up there from Maine. So you got to be putting a good hunt on when you're a small club and you're drawing people from all corners of the United States. It's just amazing. So
right, and so you make your rounds, and as busy as you are, you do a pretty darn good job at it. I'll tell you because I'm sure I know it's a lot of work. It's not a quick ride around the corner. You know, you always take a good long ride, and
sometimes a flight.
Well, yeah, and we're going to be flying this Friday.
It's it's I would love to be at every event that I could be. But it's just not feasible. Financially, it's not feasible, and time-wise, you can't run your business and not be here. But I try to get to the events that I can possibly make. And what I have found, what I'm starting to do is, from my distribution point of my business, I have dealers all over the United States. So I'm starting to work with the dealers to send product to them, and so that they can have the products at these events and sell them there, and that gives me exposure.
Yep.
And then whatever they don't sell, they can always send it back to me, and I just bill them out. So I'm going to start to get more exposure doing that this way.
And I think me and Frank take a little bit of credit because you weren't getting out very much when we first started doing this show together, and I think you kind of realized a little bit, like you were like, I don't go detecting no more, and we're like, we got to get this guy out of here. And now, you know, it all started by getting you to go to Florida with us, and now you actually do go for a week at a time, and it's good that you're doing that because you work hard.
Well, I mean, I put a lot of hours in, but I don't
You
call
do.
it hard work. I just it's putting time in, you know. But I enjoy what I do, so I don't look
Listen.
at it as work.
Right, but you also got to take the time, and it's so good because we go on vacations together. We bring our wives. They all have a good time, and you know this week's going to be great. I hope this week is going to be what we plan. We get some detecting in. We get some hangout time in. I hope the weather's going to be nice there in St. Augustine. I'm just looking forward to that and
looking at the 10-day, it looks like we got some good weather.
Yeah.
Good.
Frankie needs a vacation. He's been soldering. I'm surprised you haven't soldered your fingers together yet.
I got to tell you, man, they hurt.
Yeah. So, you know, all right. And Friday, I can't wait. We're gonna rub elbows at FH9 with everybody. I can't even. I don't even want to say specific people because I know I'll miss names.
I'm gonna say Brandon Carmichael. I hope we make it there in time for that pre-hunt. Just because
I hope you don't. I hope you don't. Brandon Carmichael, shame on you for doing this without me being there. Okay.
If I can get my dog walker to come get the keys the night before, we might make it.
I hope you stub your toe and can't go.
I'll cut that bad boy off. I'm going.
It's a conspiracy against me. Everybody, it probably started out with what time is Steve coming? Oh, okay.
That's how it started.
Yeah, I believe it's personal towards me that you guys.
Yo, Brandy said, let's have it in the afternoon. I said, no, we have it in the morning. Steve can't make it.
Right. Do it when Steve. Yeah, there was no talk of that. And all of a sudden, after all our flights are scheduled, everything. Oh, well, we're going to have a pre-hunt.
And it sounds like it's on some prime land, too, so I'm hoping to get there in time.
You're lucky Frank's got me blocked. Brandon Carmichael, you're lucky. I went to delete you off of Detect America, and it said you don't have permission to do this. Frank blocked me from doing all that. I'm like, I'll show these guys. Well, guess what? When I'm sitting there rubbing elbows with Greg,
Brandon Kowalski wants you to know he got invited to the pre-hunt.
I wish that guy could have came.
We're going to get him down here. We're going to get him over and digging with us one of these days.
And then, you know what? Somebody just made a comment but my wife is starting to like going to these events. She doesn't detect, but she's liking go. Oh, and my brother and his wife are going to be there. This is going to be fun, dude. This is going to be crazy.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time.
My brother's going to kick my ass if you don't find nothing either.
That's okay. I don't talk to your brother's wife anymore, so it's all right.
She got you good. All right, so are we giving anything away? Because I set up the wheel.
Yes, I got some stuff to give away. All right, we got
a $5 gold coin.
A 19. I think it's either 43 or 45 P silver nickel.
Ooh.
Ooh.
They're good. They're always good to add to the collection.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, we got a silver nickel going out the door.
We have a trifecta.
All right, well, I'm doing the one for the silver nickel right now.
Okay. All right, we'll do that one first.
Now, this guy is probably here. Brian Monroe.
Yeah, I saw him in there.
Is the winner of that, and I know he's probably here. I saw him in the chat.
I saw him earlier.
Yeah, he's got to answer up. So Brian's got 1 minute. He would love to go to FH9, but the guy is still recovering. But
I know we're going to miss you, Brian. I was hoping you were going to be able to make it down, brother.
From what I understand, I think he's feeling a lot better.
Yeah, well, he's been telling me I was on the beach and killed it today. It's like, yeah, I was stuck in my back room soldering. I killed it too.
Speaking of killed it today, well, look who's here. What's the matter?
I need my nail cut.
Oh, we can't do it right now. So I guess Brian must have went to bed. Has anyone seen him answer up?
I see somebody
Not
saying
yet.
hi, Brian.
Look who it is. Come here, princess. Get closer to the camera. Can you come here? I want everybody to see this. Sit down. Sit down. All right. So here's the deal.
Don Went, if you get an opportunity to come to Florida next year for FH10, you better be here, brother.
Who?
Don Went.
All right. I want you people to see what my granddaughter did. Does anybody see? Do you see that?
I saw that.
Do you see that?
What? How do you blow your nose when you have a cold?
Listen, Lil, I got a lot of those from the beach. I'll send them to you.
Ask her how she's still alive from doing that. Huh, princess? My princess was brought into the national. Sit down. My princess was brought into the National Honor Society. Oh, Jesus.
Where's my nail?
All right, I'm gonna let Lil pick the next name. She was brought into the National Honor Society. This is still for that P nickel. And she's gonna push this button and call out the name. This is my princess. Who should get her nose ripped apart. Uh-oh. Up. Oh no. Jeez.
Greg. Papa.
Apollo.
It's
You know
FA.
what?
It's the Florida Hunt Week. Of course, Greg's going to win.
Well, he's working now. I think he's.
I
Working.
know.
Hopefully
So
he's
we're gonna give him.
watching.
He's got to go by the rules. We need 1 minute.
How can he be working?
I thought he said he was working. Oh, wait, what did he say? He said something earlier.
He said he was going to be listening
Right.
because he's working.
That's what I thought he said.
I didn't think he was back to work yet.
Well, yeah, right. You know, is he nuts? Keep an eye out.
Ow.
I'm sorry.
There he
He
is.
said he's here.
There he is.
Of course, he probably.
Ow.
I'm sorry. You got it. He probably threw whatever he was doing on the ground and said, "I got to get on the phone."
Right now, there's paint all over the place.
Yeah, you better. She was mocking you.
So, all right, congratulations, Greg. I guess you're going to have that in the mail.
I can bring it down for you if you want.
That's probably a good idea.
That's a better idea.
Yeah, I'll bring it down, Greg.
You're going to get there before you mail it. All right, what did you have next?
All right, we got a trifecta.
Trifecta. Somebody said they love trifectas. All right, around and round she goes. Where she stops, only I know. Oh, one of our.
He's
sweetest
working on
members.
Hunt stuff. Okay.
Alice Van Gilder.
Alice Van Gilder.
Oh, she just said she was leaving. She just
Oh.
posted before she had to go.
Did she? She
I
signed off.
saw her. Maybe she's still here.
All right, so Alice will give you 1 minute, and maybe she stayed. Maybe she said, "I can't take my eyes off of Steve. I gotta stay."
Oh, yes. That's why she stayed. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
You don't think that's possible? I gotta tell you. I'm gonna tell you a little story today. I was at work, and they just opened a new, what would we call? I'm going to call it a gym, but a new fitness center, we'll say. And they came over and they go, "We have these coupons for a free month and stuff," and they wouldn't give me one.
Afraid you're going to sell it for pizza.
And everybody there, you know where I was. Everybody there's like making fun of me and
I don't understand that at all.
I know. Why would I not be privileged to have a free month going to the gym?
Yeah, because you never know. They might have a lovely concession stand in there with burgers.
Listen, I said I didn't want it anyway because you know what? I only have so many heartbeats left, and I don't want to ruin them.
Yeah, I'm not wasting.
I don't want to waste
on
them.
that damn elliptical machine.
Yeah, you know, I'll tell you something. I used to be in shape, but I.
Give me crossbones. Good night, buddy. We'll see you next weekend.
Good night, buddy. All right. So the trifecta: Rich Shabbat. All right. So what was that comment? Did they point next door and say, "There is the buffet"? Maybe they forgot customers. You know, Don went. Why didn't I delete you when I had the chance? Rich Shabbat is there. He is the winner. So Rich, you're going to contact Rick. You're going to contact Ronnie. You'll send him your address, and you're the winner for that. This is it. This is the last week for Don Went.
You keep saying that.
Joe Wells said one of my uncles died on an exercise bike. There's my point.
Exactly.
There's my
Hey,
point.
Listen, take an example from Ron. He's got an exercise bike and he hangs clothes.
Yes.
Ronnie didn't do nothing.
That's all right though, because I'm afraid to get on it. I don't want to.
Ronnie, he just took a damn swing at you, dude.
Ronnie's got a whole gym down there, and Lisa hangs the laundry on it to dry.
Holy shit. Ronnie, he just took haymakers at you, dude. That was, oh my God. I think that was uncalled for.
I actually had to have what the heck is that? One of the pieces of equipment we had to bring upstairs so I can make more room down here. So,
and I think that exercise bike looks great in your yard. I'm just saying.
That went upstairs too. So that's two things that went upstairs. But I still have the treadmill here in case I get ambitious.
Somebody asked if I ride a horse in again this year. I got to tell you something. I didn't come up with anything.
Well, we don't know what is going to be available to us.
No.
Yeah.
I got a little something for the meet and greet, and maybe I'll do it at the hunt that day. I might do that, but honestly, I didn't come up with it. The horse, but because we're doing it at a different place.
Exactly. We don't know what they have there.
I would have liked to,
or how willing the owners are to let you ride their life.
Like I wanted to get on the front of the train and be ridden in with that and go. Woo!
Yeah, but the train looks funny when it comes in like this.
But sparks flying. Well, you're on a roll, you dick.
I'm like, woo.
But I don't really like. I knew Dan DeMarco, and I called Dan, and Dan said, "Dan, can I get on one of your horses?" And he's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, you better not hurt my horse."
Do you ever remember the Three Stooges when they had the one horse when his back was like, like U-shaped?
yeah. But that was a nice horse. I like doing that. All right, do we have any more giveaways, or can I go to bed?
1932 silver quarter.
Oh,
nice.
I'll tell you something. I found a lot of silver quarters. I went home with a lot of silver last week. $3. I went home with $3 in silver.
From where? Oh, from the South Jersey hunt.
Yeah, maybe more than that. Was it 3 or 4? Here's an. Oh my God. Oh right, my man Paul Brescia.
Paul Brescia. We haven't heard his name called in a while.
That guy's got to come out and hunt with me on the beach this year. Paul, you have 1 minute. He's a great guy, and I will.
Paul, good people.
I will hunt with him anytime. Anytime I'll hunt with Paul Brescia. I'd like to get together with him in the summertime. So hopefully he's still watching because he's got some time left. Paul Brescia. Be appreciative to win that quarter. And I'm watching the chat and I don't see him. The funniest time, Paul Brescia, the funniest thing, we were at Frank's house for the Detect America Christmas party. And it was like the first winner. We called the name, Paul Brescia, you win. And he goes, I'm right here. I go, that's the quickest shipping we've ever had. The quickest delivery. Yeah, I can hunt with Tom Burke Kingery anytime. I just got to get out there. Now they want to see me on a merry-go-round. I'll get dizzy.
Next year, next year I'll be back. I'll go back up to Illinois.
We're gonna call Paul as a no-show. I would have loved, and I felt bad.
I would have been up in the Illinois.
You know what? Hold on. I just saw that.
Bill Bortner, that was awesome.
And I got to tell you something. You know what? Don Went, you're a saint in my book. Bill Bortner, you just became number one on the most wanted list. They're talking about me getting on the merry-go-round. And Phil Bortner goes, if Steve rides it, it'll be a barely go. Oh, that is there is something wrong with that.
Oh my God.
There is something wrong. Where's that woman that stuck up for me when they were making fun of me because I'm fat? Where is she? Who was that? Who was that lady?
She went to bed.
Was that your wife?
No,
No, it would never be his wife.
no. You just sent me a picture the other day, Ron. All right, so the winner of the quarter, which is not Phil Bortner, and if it was Phil Bortner, he just got revoked of all winning. Oh my God!
It was Paul Brescia. He didn't make it.
Yeah, I didn't
Chuck
see him.
Martin. Chuck Martin.
This is the new
Chuck
one.
Martin, you got 1 minute, and I can't believe that I oh my God.
Oh my- that was too funny. Oh my God.
That's the barely go around.
The barely go around.
I'm gonna hear that the whole. If they have one, I'm getting on it.
I think I found the new coffee cup logo.
I'm gonna be. Yeah, listen, you can get pictures of me on there. When we go, I'm gonna get on the merry-go-round, and I'm gonna call Phil Bortner from the merry-go-round. Chuck Martin's here, he wins.
Doug
Dude,
Martin's here. Good job.
Phil Bortner, you just crushed it. You crushed it,
Oh
and
my God.
paybacks are gonna be a bitch. Paybacks are gonna be a bitch.
Whew.
Incredible.
Don't forget, everybody.
That
Get
was
those
fun.
coppers wet.
The barely go round.
Get
You should
those
have a
coppers wet.
You know what, smart ass? That
I could have really been a smart ass and posted a whole bunch of other coins, but I didn't.
that's the hint that we've been on too long. Oh my God, dude, that was funny. That was the best line of the night.
Yeah, that was.
I saw that just cracked up.
That was the best. That was
Guys.
the best.
Friday nights meet and greet, Saturdays FH9.
Hey,
And
listen,
I'm just going to go out there and say this is my favorite hunt of the year.
Keep an eye on the page. We will try and do live broadcasts as much as we can. Listen, again, I just want to say this again. If you are a Detect America member and you're going to FH9, I want to meet every single one of you.
By the time I actually remembered banners. Well, I got banners
But-
this year. Whether I remember to bring them is a different story. But
Just remember one thing, folks. You guys see me all the time. Like, people from our page could walk up. I may not recognize you, so please don't be offended. I just want to know. Once you tell me your name, I'll do my best to get to block it in my memory. But please, everyone from Detect America, come rub elbows with us. Anyone from Detect America is welcome to bring their chairs, sit at our table. Sit, my wife will be there when we're hunting.
bring me lunch, whatever you want to do. It's fine.
And Mrs. DeGhetto will be there. So you can put your stuff there. It'll be watched while we're hunting and everything else. Our area is your area also. But just keep an eye on Butch Holcomb. Just that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, gotta be careful of that Butch and that KG and Ringy dude.
Oh, he's probably not watching. So Butch Holcomb.
Oh yeah, Butch is live right now.
He's trouble. Butch is trouble.
So when you jump off of this show, go over to Relic Roundup.
Oh, don't forget all our friends. I tell you, we had fun on Josh's show last night. Oh my God, what a riot! You never listen. You guys try and keep me away from that show, but you can't. Okay, I will not be.
I know.
I will not be contained.
I stopped reminding you, and you still show up.
Well, you're doing it on purpose, and I caught on.
I didn't sign on to that show till 20 after because I forgot about it.
Ron, what are you doing?
I'm actually Rick Chabat sent me his address, so I am packaging his coin. So
It's
I
already
can get
mailed
it
out.
First
It's
thing
already mailed out.
Now you're just showing off. It's okay.
Now, Frank,
I'll tell you what, though. You want those? There hasn't been one complaint about me being late on shipping in the past couple months.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about complaints.
Could you imagine if James Lister ordered his metal detector through you, Frank? That's what I was. Oh, wait,
This would be
wait to
the
see that one.
Xterra Pro 2 by the time you got it.
Listen, guys,
this is the Ugly Box Aquatech World Headquarters you're looking at. Right?
world headquarters. Don't forget, listen, for all your metal detecting needs, the Gold Digger has it. Give him a call. My man will take care of you. He's working 24 hours a day. He likes to do most of his telemarketing around 2 a.m.
Yeah, Ronnie's up all the time. Call him at 2, 3 o'clock. He'll be there.
He's up all night long. Call him at 2 or 3. See what's going on, and yeah, do that. Get with Ron, and he's a night owl. He's closed during the day, so you have to call him at night. The later, the better. Right, buddy?
Yeah, don't worry. My phone's down in the basement. I don't hear it ringing when I'm in bed.
You're lying, because when we go on vacation, you answer the phone all the time. The gold digger, the gold digger, the gold digger.
Yeah, that's natural for me, though.
And it's just the way it is.
Did we ever
wanna
get
say-
any winners for that quarter yet?
We did. It was the last one. Martin.
Was
Chuck
he here?
Martin.
Did he answer?
Chuck Martin.
Yeah.
Chuck Martin.
Okay, I gotta write that down.
Yeah.
Chuck
So
Martin.
Chuck Martin might be FH9 too.
Well, let me know.
Is
I'll
he?
bring it.
Chuck Martin, are you going to be at FH9?
He just said goodbye. I don't know if he's going to be here now.
Goodbye.
I can't wait to see Jen. Now I'll recognize Jen Foreman.
Yeah, she's wearing a disguise, so you won't recognize her.
If you see any girl that's wearing the glasses with the big nose and a mustache, that's her.
She's the greatest. She's fun. So
Ronnie keeps his phone next to the exercise equipment.
Yeah, no, I do. No, I do.
Oh my
was
god!
that? Did somebody post that?
Chuck said, "Bring it to FH9."
Was that?
Good?
Is he going to be at FH9?
Somebody just said Chuck said, "Bring it to FH9."
There's another one. Maury Hanson with the.
I'll find out. I'll send them. Yeah.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know.
You know,
I'll
I'm
send
glad. I am so glad everybody is comfortable enough to type all these smart, wise ass comments.
That's too funny.
I mean, they must really be relaxed to be able to do that. You know what I mean?
Well, they feel at home.
Like, here I am. I'm going to break Chunky's balls, you know?
Yeah, Tom Burke Kingery said they talked to Chuck Martin. Chuck Martin said, yes, he will be there, so bring it to FH9.
Good.
All right, good.
Oh, wait. Tom Burke Kingery's going to be at FH9?
No, I don't think so.
He just said, yeah, he'll be there.
No, he's talking about Chuck
Yes,
Martin.
he'll be there. Okay, all right, good. All right, Ronnie, you want to say goodnight?
All right, everybody. Have a great night. I hope you enjoyed the show. We got a little bit off topic. We went from detecting events to how machines work. But hey,
Yeah,
it was all about metal detecting.
There was no colonoscopies brought up tonight, so we're
That's
good.
true. Yeah, that's one good thing.
Metal detecting talk's got to end.
Yeah, that definitely ruins the show. All right, I'm not gonna drag on. Thanks for watching. Have a great night. See everybody at Florida Hunt FH9. If you're gonna be there, be sure to stop by, say hello. All
Come
right.
hang.
We want to see everybody that's our members come up.
Come
and say
hang with
hi.
the gang.
Even
All
if you're
right,
not a
good night.
member, come by. Who cares?
Yeah, that's
All right, good night, Ron.
good night, everybody.
Well, Frank, how is it they're not a member? They're going to come by. They're not going to hear us right now.
They may just be there and see
We'll
us.
get a lot. You know, we do. We get good members, and we get guests for the show. And that, you know, like that archaeology guy we were supposed to have on that we never did. I don't know why, but he would have made a great guest.
Which archaeology guy?
Archaeology guy from one of the Florida hunts. That guy was awesome.
Oh, him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I may have made him disgruntled.
Shit happens, buddy. We roll with it. That's all. We roll with it. I want to get on that plane right now. I have got so much to do by Friday too.
I'm still building. I'm getting up from this table and I'm going back to build.
Okay, I feel bad for you. Like
I think
gonna
I'm done with Aquatex, but I still
I'm
have
gonna
a
be
few
like, oh,
other
poor
people.
Frank. Hey, listen, I'm serious though. Like, if you people know you want something, use better.
I mean, I'm bringing as much as I
Order.
can down, but it is a finite amount of stuff I'm bringing.
Just don't forget Celeste when you get in the car.
If there's room, hopefully. She might have to ride in the back with the scoops.
Well, then we know they won't fall out the truck. make sure you check the truck
Yeah, no, trust me.
things. Oh,
We're
I
gonna
gotta
be
tell. Oh
double.
my god,
Celeste will be double checking because you can't count on me. I'll forget shit.
dude! I got the funniest story from Kathy Blau today.
Oh,
Let
I
me.
meant to mention that. Did you see the picture of her next to the cow?
Yeah, but wait till you hear this story because she started chatting me up, and she told me this story, and I got to do it because she's so funny. All right, so she went to a hunt this weekend, right?
Yeah.
So and that's where they took the picture of her with the cows. So she sends me this message. Kathy, I love you if you're watching, and you are the sweetest person in the world. She goes, the cows give me nightmares. I hate to tell you, I thought a cow was following me in one of the fields. Watch, listen, I walked so far around the pond to keep out of its way. It wasn't until I thought I could stand my ground. I got my pointy shovel. I didn't have my glasses on. It was only when it got a lot closer that I saw it was a woman in a sweatshirt with black and white sleeves. So she goes, I'm so glad I didn't yell, be going with you, Cal. She might not have liked it.
Oh my god.
Now, can you imagine? I know that's so easy to picture. Like, all right, I'm getting away from this thing now. What are the odds of a woman wearing a black and white shirt?
And the
You
poor
know,
woman was probably just following Kathy. She wanted to talk to her.
poor she is one of the sweetest
I
young
love
ladies
Kathy.
too. And
And her daughter's going to be going to college down here, so I'll be seeing Kathy more and more.
oh god, oh my god, that's just a funny story. And she's probably watching, going, "Oh my god, he's telling that story." But
I
that
told
was
her
funny.
I was very proud of how brave she was to stand next to that cow and the 10-foot barbed wire fence.
Karen Kazupski put her in danger.
I think I asked Karen, how deep were Kathy's nails clenched into your back when you were
But
taking
yeah,
that photo?
I can't believe she would put Kathy in so much danger.
They are the
You know
most
that.
dangerous
You know that
animal in the UK.
more people are killed every year by cows than any other method.
Did you know that they travel in gangs?
Gangs. They all face which way they're going to attack too.
Okay, Kathy, I told her when she 2 years now. You should have never told us that story.
Oh my God, no! Yeah, that's like when what that's like when I was on the police force. We were working, and one of the guys tells us he used to be a male cheerleader. Yeah, that he got beat up. So, and that was when we first started. That was when the computer came out, and you were first able to start morphing pictures. I was making him a cheerleader, like he was doing cheers and stuff. Oh my God! You don't tell anybody that. You don't tell a bunch of cops you're a cheerleader. I'm a male cheerleader, and we were like, did you just really tell a bunch of cops that you're a cheerleader?
Listen, it's a very respectable position.
It is. It is. Oh, look who's here. There you. Come here. Get over here. Say hi to Frankie. Wait.
Chippers! Hi, Chip.
What are you doing, bud?
Hi, Chipper.
Call Frank.
So cute, Chipper.
Frank's
on. Chipper dog.
Frank's
You know what he's saying? Frank, I want crab meat.
Crab meat.
Give me crab meat.
All right, shut up and get on the bed, you dumb fathead. Cement head. Get on the bed.
He's telling me he wants crab meat.
Wish my wife listened like that. I want crab meat.
All right, I'm going to go find food.
All right, bye. Good night, Celeste. Good seeing you.
Hi, see you
We'll
soon.
see you Friday.
Friday.
Love your doggy dog.
And I didn't make that call today. I still got a call. I was busy all day.
What call?
To the hotel.
You told me you called.
I did call. Oh yeah, well, I still got to call them and pay for it.
Oh.
Yeah, I gotta do that tomorrow. So.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because there's not enough room in my truck for all of us to sleep in.
Oh no, we got the reservations. We're good. All right, guys. Good night. See yous.
See you guys later. FH9 next
Hurry up, because here comes Buzzkill.
Friday.
He's coming down the steps. Hit that button quick.
Really? Do you
Come on.
want to pick up all the toothpicks on the stove?
You want
that
to
you
shut up,
knocked down?
lady? I don't. Who listens to you? Hit that button. Get me out of here. I don't want to listen to her anymore. Hey, will you hit the button?